everybody. Welcome back to WorldCom Easy Story House series. My name is Brian Stuart, and we're taking a look at a group storytelling project by kids. Now, this project is unique because each child takes one part of a story and they will either read it out loud or they will recite it from memory. Wow, very good job. So this is a very good way to practice English, to practice speaking out loud, but also to remember vocabulary, to remember phrases, and also be introduced to many different interesting characters and many different stories. This story is taken from one of 25 world famous stories in English. And of course, many of these stories I remember when I was a kid. In today's case, we have Rumpelstitskin. Rumpelstitskin. That's a little hard to say, isn't it? But this is a very famous story. There's a lot of themes or a lot of life lessons from this, but the main theme is that you should always tell the truth and take responsibility for your actions. So those are the main themes of this story. This story is about a young girl who's put in a terrible situation. Her father makes promises to the king saying that she can do things that she can't do. And then a magical man, Rumpelstiltskin, comes along and he helps her. But Rumpelstiltskin is not a nice person. He's an evil guy, and he wants to take advantage of the girl as well. What will happen? Will the girl fail or will she succeed? What will happen to her? Well, we need to read the story to find out. So I hope you'll join me in learning or reading, listening to the story, reading it, learning some English, and learning some important life lessons along the way. So why don't you join me? See you soon.
A miller has a daughter. His daughter is very beautiful, but the miller is very poor. One day, the miller sees the king. The miller says, "My daughter can spin straw into gold." The king says to the miller, "Bring your daughter to me." The miller goes home. He says to his daughter, "The king wants to see you." So the next day, his daughter puts on her dress, and the miller and his daughter meet the king. The king says, "Here is straw. Spin the straw into gold." The king puts the girl into a loom. The girl sees a lot of straw. She cries and cries. The door opens. The little man comes into the loom. The little man says, "Why do you cry?" The girl says, "I can't spin." The little man says, "I can spin the straw into gold. What can you give me?" The girl says, "I can give you my necklace." So the little man takes the necklace,
and he spins the straw into gold. He spins and spins. He spins the straw into gold. It is morning. The king comes. He is happy to see the gold, but he wants more gold. He takes the gold to another room. This room is a big room. It has a lot of straw. The king says to the girl, "Here is more straw. Spin the straw into gold." The girl sees the straw. There is so much straw. She cries and cries. The door opens. The little man comes into the room. The little man asks the girl, "Why do you cry?" The girl says, "I can't spin." The little man says, "I can spin the straw into gold. What can you give me?" The girl says, "I can give you my ring." The little man takes the ring and he spins the straw into gold. He spins and spins. He spins the straw into gold.
It is morning. The king comes. He is very happy to see all the gold, but he wants more. He takes the girl to a very big room. It has lots of straw. The king says to the girl, "Here is more straw. Spin the straw into gold. Then you can be the queen." The girl sees the straw. There is so much straw, she cries and cries. The doors open. The little man comes into his room. Into the room. The little man asks, "Why do you cry?" The girl says, "I can't spin." The little man says, "I can spin the straw into gold. What can you give me?" The girl says, "What do you want?" The little man says, "Your baby, when you are queen." The girl says, "Spin the straw into gold, and you can have my first baby." He spins all the straw into gold. The next morning, the king sees all the gold. The king marries the girl. The girl becomes a queen. 1 year later, the queen has a beautiful baby. She forgets about the little man. One day, the little man comes into her room. The little man says, "Give me your baby." The queen says, "I can give you lots of gold. Please don't take my baby." The little man says, "No, give me your baby." The queen cries.
The little man says, "I give you 3 days. Find out my name, then you can keep your baby." So the queen sends the servant to find out names. The little man comes back the next day. The queen says, "Is your name Casper?" The little man says, "No, that is my name." On the second day, the little man comes back. The queen says, "Is your name Shirtlips?" The little man says, "No, that is my name." At night, the servant sees the man in the mountain. He is the little man. He dances and he sings. Soon I'm going to take the queen's baby. Rumpelstitskin is my name. How, how? The servant tells the queen the straight story. The third day, the little man comes back. The little man says, "Now, king, what is my name?" The queen says, "It is Conrad." The little man says, "It is not. No, it is not." The queen says, "It is Harry." The little man says, "No, it is not." The queen says, "Then is your name Rumpelstitskin?" The little man is angry. The queen knows his name. He jumps. The little man jumps out his feet. He jumps very hard. He falls through the floor. Then the queen never sees him again.